Mauricio Umansky, a beloved real estate mogul and longtime fan favorite on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, recently faced a health scare that shook his family to its core. His wife, Kyle Richards, a star in her own right and one of television's most enduring personalities, stood unwaveringly by his side. Through every late-night hospital visit, every tear shed in private, and every public moment of composure, Kyle's courage became a symbol of devotion in the face of fear. Tonight, we take you behind the scenes of their struggle, revealing moments of heartbreak, resilience, and unbreakable love. Kyle and Mauricio walking together, holding hands. Narrator, voiceover. It all began subtly. At first, Mauricio experienced what many would dismiss as minor symptoms: fatigue, occasional chest discomfort, a lingering sense of unease. Like anyone, he pushed through, focusing on his business, his family, and the world around him. But beneath the calm exterior, something was quietly wrong. Kyle, ever observant, noticed the change immediately. She described it in private interviews later. "I knew something was off the moment I saw him pause mid-sentence, the spark in his eyes dimming ever so slightly. I didn't want to admit it, but deep down I feared the worst." When Mauricio was eventually diagnosed, the world seemed to stop. For a family that thrives in public, privacy suddenly became sacred. Kyle later revealed, "You think you're ready for anything, but when it's the person you've loved longer than you can remember, nothing prepares you. Every heartbeat, every breath, becomes monumental." From that moment, Kyle's role shifted. She remained the ever-charming mother, the glamorous housewife fans adored, but behind closed doors, she was a caregiver, a source of strength, and sometimes a woman overwhelmed by fear. Mauricio's health deteriorated rapidly. There were nights when he was admitted to the hospital unexpectedly, hooked to monitors, machines humming quietly beside his bed. Kyle dropped everything to be by his side, refusing to leave even for a moment. "I couldn't just stand aside," Kyle told friends. "I needed to be there. I needed him to know he wasn't alone." Their children, Alexia, Sofia, and Portia, shared in the quiet anguish. Though strong for the cameras, they were terrified seeing their father vulnerable. They rotated shifts at the hospital, offering comfort, encouragement, and, most importantly, love. "He taught us resilience," Kyle shared. "Now it was our turn to show him everything he'd taught us." Montage of RHOBH cast showing support. News of Mauricio's condition spread quickly. Fans across the globe were shocked. Social media was flooded with messages of support, prayers, and love. Even cast members, some of whom had publicly clashed with Kyle in the past, came together to offer strength. This was more than a health scare. It was a reminder that behind every glamorous facade, there is a real family facing very real challenges. And Kyle, always the face of poise and grace, had to reconcile her public persona with her private pain. "Every morning, I smiled for the cameras, but at night, I allowed myself to cry," Kyle revealed. "It was the only way to survive this." The most harrowing moment came when Mauricio's condition worsened, requiring intensive care. The phone call that summoned Kyle to the hospital was the call every spouse dreads. She arrived, heart pounding, hands trembling, but her determination never faltered. She stayed by his side, praying silently, offering words of encouragement, and simply being present in the quiet, sterile room. Friends described her as unwavering, eyes red from tears, yet filled with steely resolve. "I am not leaving," she told the nurses. "He has allies in this fight." It was in these moments that Kyle's strength shone brightest, not in dramatic gestures, but in relentless, quiet devotion. Cut to kids sitting beside Kyle. Narrator, voiceover. The Umansky children, terrified yet resolute, mirrored their mother's courage. They whispered words of encouragement, held their father's hand, and leaned on one another for support. Together, the family prayed, cried, and kept vigil, striving to shield the public eye from the rawest edges of their pain. They understood that while the cameras could not see it all, their presence mattered most in that small hospital room. Kyle speaking to camera in past interview. Kyle spoke candidly about the emotional toll of caregiving. Watching someone you love fight for their life is unlike anything else. You feel helpless, guilty, and scared, but above all, you learn what love really is. Even as Mauricio showed glimpses of improvement, the uncertainty remained. Recovery would be slow, and every step forward came with the looming reminder that nothing could be taken for granted. Outside the hospital, fans rallied. Messages of hope and prayers poured in from all over the world. Kyle shared their love publicly, acknowledging the collective support while emphasizing the ongoing nature of Mauricio's fight. "We are incredibly grateful for the outpouring of love. It means more than words can say. We ask that you continue to keep Mauricio in your thoughts and prayers. The journey isn't over, but together we have hope." Kyle and Mauricio laughing. Through it all, the love between Kyle and Mauricio never wavered. Their decades-long marriage, tested by fame, fortune, and now illness, remained their anchor. From meeting in the late 1980s to building a family and a business empire, their bond has inspired countless fans around the globe. Kyle's unwavering dedication to her husband, publicly and privately, became a lesson in love, resilience, and unwavering support. It was a reminder that even in the face of life-altering adversity, human connection and devotion endure. Kyle holding Mauricio's hand, kissing his forehead. Finally, the turning point came. Mauricio began showing signs of improvement. The doctor's reports were cautiously optimistic, and for the first time in weeks, Kyle could breathe a little easier. "Keep fighting," she whispered, pressing a kiss to his forehead. "Our future is still ours. We're not done yet." The road ahead remained challenging, but this moment, quiet, intimate, and full of hope, symbolized a victory of spirit over fear and love over despair. Cut to Kyle and Mauricio at home, surrounded by family. Narrator, voiceover. Recovery would take time, patience, and faith. But the most harrowing phase had passed. Mauricio's strength, paired with Kyle's unwavering vigilance, created a path forward. For fans of RHOBH, this story offered something rare, a glimpse of humanity behind the drama. Kyle and Mauricio, two figures often viewed through the lens of television and social media, were revealed as a family bound by love, courage, and devotion. Kyle and Mauricio with children, laughing and hugging. Their journey serves as a reminder that behind every public persona is a private life, full of challenges, triumphs, and the quiet, persistent power of love. Through fear and uncertainty, Kyle and Mauricio showed that commitment is not measured in words, but in presence, care, and devotion. As Mauricio continues his recovery, the Umansky family story resonates worldwide, not for fame, but for its deeply human message that love can endure anything and hope, even in the darkest moments, never fades. Even after Mauricio began showing signs of improvement, the emotional toll lingered. Kyle often found herself sitting quietly in their Beverly Hills home, reflecting on the fragility of life. "You don't realize how much you take for granted. Simple things like a hug, a smile, or a shared cup of coffee suddenly mean everything," she shared. Her voice, soft yet unwavering, carried the weight of the past weeks. The experience had changed the family in subtle but profound ways. Alexia, Sophia, and Portia became more protective of each other and their parents, learning lessons in empathy and resilience that no classroom could teach. They understood that fame could not shield a family from life's harsh realities. In one heartwarming moment, Portia quietly told her mother, "Mom, I know it was scary, but you were amazing. You never gave up on Dad." Cut to montage of RHOBH cast reaching out, sending messages. Narrator, voiceover. Within Hollywood, news of Mauricio's health scare resonated deeply. Colleagues, friends, and even former rivals reached out, showing the rare side of celebrity life where compassion eclipses conflict. Lisa Rinna, Erika Jayne, and other RHOBH cast members sent personal messages of support, reflecting the way this family had touched lives far beyond cameras and screens. Social media erupted as fans offered heartfelt prayers, shared stories of their own family battles, and expressed admiration for Kyle's courage. One comment captured the sentiment perfectly. "Kyle Richards, you are the definition of strength. Sending love to your family." The digital outpouring reminded the Umanskys that they were not alone. Though the fight was intensely private, the world was watching and supporting them. As Mauricio's condition stabilized, life slowly returned to a new sense of normal. He resumed working in real estate, but with a renewed perspective on priorities. Kyle, too, balanced her public persona with her private mission, cherishing every moment with her husband and children. Kyle reflected publicly, "This experience taught us how fleeting life is. It's made us appreciate the ordinary moments, the family dinners, the laughter in the living room, the quiet nights at home. Those are the things that really matter."